Let's chat. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Let's Talk About It. I am Taco Verde, and today I am going to be getting into some makeup, and I've decided to have a little sit down and a little chat. It's been a while since I have made a YouTube video. I hope you enjoyed last week's video featuring Eris Vita. I am really excited with how the wig turned out. I feel like I'm about to reach out to a designer and ask for a neon green and black Wednesday inspired outfit. And I'm going to do a Neon Wednesday number one day, hopefully. So I am just starting off with some primer, just to make sure that my base is smooth. I just got out of the shower and I washed my skin with a new cleanser that I got. It is a Neutrogena Gentle Cleanser. And I'm really liking the way that it is really foamy. I prefer the foamy kind of cleansers just because I feel like the ones that don't foam, I feel like I just can't tell that it's actually cleaning my face or not. But I did just shave. I had quite the beard. And yeah, so if you see all of this redness that is underneath where my sideburns were that I shaved off, that is why. Just because my skin gets really sensitive, I guess. I don't know, but I've always had really bad razor bumps. Not that y'all care. Today I want to go in with doing something a little bit different. I have been trying to add a little bit more brightness to the center of my face, so I've decided that today what I'm going to try out is adding some just straight up solid white to the center of my face, and then blending in foundation and concealer in my skin tone, but still having a little bit of that brightness towards the center of my face. So we're going to start with that. So this is more or less what I want to highlight and really have an intense brightness on. It kind of looks like the Los Illuminados insignia, if you are familiar with Resident Evil 4, which is one of my favorite games. Really sad that Resident Evil 9 is only coming out on the newest systems. Unfortunately, I do not have the Switch 2, the PlayStation 5, or any Xbox, so that's really sad. Would love to play that, but it is what it is. Now I am just scraping some foundation off of the pump, the tube of the pump, because I have 3 of the one size turn up the base full beat foundation, and not a single one of the pump works, so I have to scrape it off with the tube of the pump and put that on my face, which is horrible. I don't know how I have 3 different things of foundation and none of them want to work for me, so I have to scrape them off. But this is probably one of my favorite foundations because I feel like it matches me the best, at least right now. Now I am just going in with my regular concealers, but still trying to keep a little bit of that white brightness, so strategically placing it. For those of you who have been subscribed and have seen my makeup tutorials, you know that my makeup is a lot of going back and forth. But if you are new here and you somehow have not seen any of my makeup videos, I do go back and forth a lot with my foundation and my base just to make sure that everything is blended, because I want everything to kind of just melt and gradiate into each other, whatever the word is. Something else that I have been doing lately with my makeup is trying to keep my blush placement up high instead of blending it all the way down to the center of my face. I've been liking the way it's been turning out, but y'all let me know if y'all like it. I've also been trying to kind of emphasize the blush a little bit more, just to make sure that people can see it. I've been trying to basically copy everything that Georgia does, from RuPaul's Drag Race Season 14 and All Stars 9 and All Stars 10. Love Georges, and I think her makeup is beautiful. So that's why I'm like, you know what, let me try this. And I feel like it's been helping me out. That's one of my favorite things about doing drag, is that we are constantly evolving and trying new things with our makeup, even though sometimes if you're not, too familiar with doing drag makeup, you might not notice those differences. But to me, I just love always experimenting, always have, always will. Like when it comes to my eyebrows, I felt like I was doing a really good job at figuring out a way to shape my eyebrows to where it doesn't look too extreme drag, but it also doesn't look too natural. But I feel like I'm still trying to figure that part out, makeup is just always evolving. Will my eyebrows ever be even? No. Do I care? No. But do my eyebrows at least look good individually? I mean, yeah, sure, whatever. But anyway, this is that brightness that I was talking about. I wanted to have that white concealer. So I think this is a brightness that I'm going for. So I'm really happy with how this is turning out so far. So I'm going to set this. And after that, I will be addressing the elephant in the room. So I am sure as soon as you saw the thumbnail and or clicked on the video, you saw that my sign's back on. My sign's going to stay up where I have it because that was a gift from my sister, who I love so much. And as I have been told, I do have my own identity outside of my no longer idol. That has been really hard for me to navigate because I basically built my entire life around this woman who I thought was a good inspiration, who I have literally bought every single perfume, every single CD, every single everything. I've gotten all of the mixtapes, and if anybody knew me, anybody who was watching me knows me personally, would understand how difficult and how disappointing this has been for me as a gay fan of this woman. Seeing the way that she has been navigating her life recently has just been extremely heartbreaking to me. And I, aside from that, just don't want to get rid of a gift that was given to me. Again, I have my own identity. I haven't even been performing a lot of her songs for the past few years prior to everything that has been happening. As much as I used to, it really is just sad to see such a huge turn from somebody. And I don't know, it's been disappointing. I haven't really wanted to talk about it because I feel like if you don't understand how much I personally have idolized this woman, you more than likely just won't understand exactly how upsetting it was. I know there's been a lot of questionable behavior leading up to this, especially with how she's treated new upcoming female rappers. I've never really have supported that part of it, and I don't know, there's just been a lot of questionable shit, and it's just I just can't, shit that I haven't even myself been supporting, or I don't know, it's really difficult for me. But I have made the decision to keep my sign, and if anybody has noticed, all of my social media says Taco M Verde, because I will from time to time get somebody who only knows me as Taco Minaj, and I don't want them to get confused. I know how hard stuff like that can get for people. So like I said, the sign's saying I don't want any kind of feedback. I'm not here for any kind of feedback. If you feel some type of way about that, I do too. So I don't know. I feel like if you feel strongly about that, the fact that I'm keeping the sign up, then you can definitely buy me a new sign that I will hang up. Just make sure you spell Taco Verde correctly if you are unfamiliar with Spanish. But like I said, the sign's gonna stay because that was a gift, and I have my own life, my own opinions, and I don't feel like taking it down. It was a gift for my sister, so sorry, not sorry. And I mean, obviously, it does go without saying, but I will no longer be supporting or listening to the music. So it's sad, it's heartbreaking, and it's been tough for me to navigate. But I'm going to do my best with what I think is right, and I feel like to throw out money that was spent is just not something that I am personally aligned with, especially when it wasn't my own money. But even if it was my own money, I still wouldn't throw stuff like that out, you know? Like, what's the whole point? I already spent the money. Don't want to waste it. Life's hard, life's expensive. I don't really subscribe to cancel culture like that anyway. I think it's unhealthy. Plus, the first tattoo that I got was half inspired by that woman. Anyway, so like, why would I can't remove my arm. You know what I mean? Like, I can't take that off. I mean, I could cover the tattoo, but that's still half inspired by To Anyone. So, like, I'm not going to put much thought into it. It is what it is. It represented a very important time in my life. And just is what it is. I don't think it's got to be that deep. It ain't got to be that deep. For me, at least. It definitely just is what it is. I'm moving on. And I know a lot of people are as well. Really sad to see somebody who I thought was just a really good role model to look up to just throw their career away and just no longer support the people who built her career. It's crazy. So as y'all can see, obviously I'm having a hard time articulating my thoughts because, you know, there's always going to be somebody who will think that I should be throwing everything out, and like that's just not who I am as a person. I don't want to disappoint anybody, but like I said, the sign's gonna stay. That's where I stand with that. You know, it's a gift. I have my own identity. I'm not supporting that woman no more. She has dug her grave, and now she must lay in it. Anyway, moving on. I have also been trying to figure out my own life. I don't remember the last time I posted a video, but I have a new job that I've been at for over a year. It's been interesting to say the very least. I work at a steel coil warehouse. We make car parts for different companies, and we receive in these giant steel coils that weigh up to 60,000 pounds, which is wild. But that has been a very interesting job, and you know, nothing says drag more like going from an adult job like that to, you know, performing whenever I can. But speaking of, I need to say how grateful that I am for all of the opportunities that I have had recently. If people who are subscribed to my YouTube are also following me on Instagram, where on my stories I post when I have shows. I have been getting a lot more shows, which I am eternally grateful for. If I could, I would do drag full time, but I do not have that opportunity as of yet. I would like to do that. I'm wanting to make sure that I'm putting that out to the universe. This way the universe can hear me clearly. I would love to perform 7 days a week or 5 or whatever, just, you know, enough to pay my bills. That would be, you know, ideal for me. But until then, coils it is. Coils it will be. If you happen to not follow me on Instagram or any kind of social media, let me tell you how amazing these shows have been going. In the area in which I live, I feel like I'm really starting to make a name for myself, which has been extremely rewarding and very validating for me. Um, I'm grateful for every single opportunity I come across. As always, I feel like gratitude is my best image. So I want to make sure that I'm always expressing my gratitude, and I'm not going to stop saying that. You will hear that from me very frequently, no matter what. I don't care. Being grateful is something that is very important to me, so I will always make sure to do so. Today I want to play with some neons from Dolzora Cosmetics, which I bought this a long time ago and almost forgot about it up until I remembered it. But anyway, moving on, I have recently performed in a mall, which was wild because the mall is like on its last legs. But it's been just really hilarious for me to perform in front of a closed JCPenney, at least in my opinion. R.I.P. to that JCPenney. I have also had the privilege of being a part of the Absolutely Dreadful cast in Griffith, Indiana, so that's been fun. I've been trying to, just expand and get as many shows as I can, anywhere that I can, not only in my local area, but also in the city of Chicago and anywhere in Northwest Indiana. So I'm sure y'all who are subscribed to me know me and know where I've been, but just for those who haven't, I will throw up some pictures too, because I also have been making sure to level up my drag. Finally, I have been investing a lot more money into it, getting more custom outfits and getting more custom wigs, and just trying to really get into investing in myself and leveling up my artistry. And I feel like that's been helping me also get more opportunities too, because I want to make sure that I look good. I'll throw up some photos while I do some eyeliner. I'm trying to manifest the best. I want to manifest the best for me. I want to manifest more for myself and help out some of my closest friends along the way who are also performers. I feel like one of the best things out of doing drag is meeting new people, including performers, including the audience, including, the people who are booking shows with me, and any business owners that want to continue to have me. Building so many kinds of relationships and networking has been, also validating and fulfilling for me. And if you're not a drag performer, let me tell you, the backstage is probably the best and the most important also, especially when it comes to booking things and who you want in your shows. So that backstage, it really is like half of the excitement for us. A lot of us love to just get into drag and just spend time with each other in between numbers. It really is, some quality bonding time. Anyway, I am going to put on some lashes and some lip gloss and a look off camera. I will be right back with the completed look. All right, and this is my completed look. What do you all think? Do you love this new hair? Also styled by Eris B. Vita. I'm obsessed. I actually have had this human hair wig for a really long time, but I just didn't do it correctly. And so I was like, Eris, fix this. And look, this is so beautiful. I'm super excited about this hair. Look at this new outfit that I have. I'm just obsessed. If I do a Pride show this year, this might be my go-to Pride dress. But until then, this is just a fun little more time with more of my friends and just sharing the love that I have for my friends with you all. But I will see you all next time. This has been yet another episode of Let's Talk About It. And I am Taco M. Verde. And I will see you all next time. Bye.